Okay, people, we are back live with episode 7 of Ballyhoo, in which we randomly figure out what the hell is going on in this old circus uh, across the pond, an American circus where you wait in line and
I
eat
thought, I thought you were
random.
going to come up with some American word for a circus then. I was just waiting for.
Yeah, no, no. Um, they Americans would probably think that there was an English word for circus, like I don't know, prancing circle or something. Um, but yeah, we're back, and we made a little bit of progress in between last week and this week. Um, it's the usual crowd are here. I'm not going to ask you all. Oh no, actually, maybe I will, just to check that levels are right, just so we can get your audio and I can check it. So everybody, just say hello quickly.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Excellent, perfect. I can see that your audio is all going out to the stream. Um, so yeah, I did a little bit of sleuthing because we got to the end last week. We made a load of progress. We figured out what the clown mask was for. We got into the secret area, or the south of the turnstile. We crawled under the tent to get back into the prop tent and found the mousetrap with some cheese on it. We also got the bullwhip and went and figured out how to use the bullwhip and the stool to get the lions in past the grate so that we could look under the lion stand where we found a cigarette case. And then we figured out what the clown mask was for and got into the clown's trailer, um, and then immediately got kicked out again before we really had a chance to do much exploring in there. But we learnt that that there was a detective. They were worried about the detective poking around outside, and they were worried that he was going to discover their scam, which involved pushing Annie Oakley under the hoarding next to the elephant tent. And then we figured out at the end, oh no, then when we left there, we found the detective unconscious. We revived him by throwing water over his face. He then woke up having drunk Dr. Nostrum's elixir, um, and threw it at the turnstile where it smashed, and then gave us the ransom note and the kind of the product card for Dr. Nostrum's, and is still like lying there, kind of sleeping it off essentially. But then we realised that what we thought was a murder, pushing Annie Oakley under the hoarding, actually Annie Oakley is slang for tickets. In the feelies, it sort of has a glossary of circus terms, and Annie Oakley are tickets. So there was a ticket scam going on. That's what the clowns were worried about being discovered for, because they were, I don't know, pushing. I'm not quite sure what the scam is. Like, were they?
No, wasn't there something to do with gambling? They're running some sort of gambling.
Well, they were
Uh,
talking about a grift, which is translated as gambling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um,
so one of the things that I also did was read through some of that the documentation as well, and there
Hmm.
is a reference to betting in there, and we do have some money, so we might come
oh,
across this betting game somewhere.
okay.
Yeah, maybe they're pushing tickets under so that people can get into their gambling game.
Ah, okay, okay. So they're running a grift on the side and getting people in through the turnstiles
Maybe.
by shoving tickets out. It's possible, but we also realised right when we had to finish last week that that couldn't have been the purpose of pretending to be Malcolm Malcolm the stumble bum magician. Is the third clown that we were pretending to be. God knows what's happened to Malcolm, but they think we're Malcolm when we first go in with our mask on, and then soon realise we're not and throw us out. But there's two bunks in there. Colonel Tom is sat on the top bunk. Chuckles is taking his makeup off. And so I went back to see where. Oh, there's an ashtray on the lower bunk. So I went back to see if we can do anything with it. We discovered last time that if you look at the ashtray, there's some ash in it. If you look at the ash, the ash is very black and doesn't seem to have been made by a tobacco product. But that's really as far as we got before we got thrown out. But I went back, and you can't, if you search either bunk, nothing really happens. You can't engage with Tom or Chuckles. You can't say anything because you've got a mask which muffles your voice. But and if you take the ashtray, when you get kicked out, Chuckles takes the ashtray back off you. But if you look at the ashtray and then look at the ash and then take the ash, it says something along the lines of, in the ash you find a scrap of newsprint, and you take that, and then when you get kicked out, you retain it. So we have newsprint. I presume that's what you get from the 4 moves you have. It makes no difference if you close the door immediately or don't close the door at all. They still throw you out after 4 moves. I think it's 4. But yeah, so that's what I think you can do. I think basically you go in there to get the newsprint and to find out about the fact that the clowns are running some kind of grift that involves shoving tickets under the fence. So I then went back and redid the lions. I tried a few things out with the lions, but there's really no difference. I tried hitting the lion with the whip, because that was the one spoiler that I read before we started playing, was there's a difference between hitting the lion with a whip and whipping the lion. If you hit the lion with a whip, nothing happens. The lion just like growls. What else did I try? Oh, I tried not going in without the stool. Again, basically you can't open the grate because the shaggy lion stops you, so you need the stool to hold it off. That's all that happened. So I'm pretty sure we did that right. And under the lion stand we found the case, and then I did the detective. So we're back at Midway entrance. We have the mousetrap. We have the trade card of Dr. Nostrum's. We have the ransom note from the detective. We have the cigarette case from the lion enclosure. We have the scrap of newsprint from the clowns. We have a bucket, which I refilled with water in case we need it. We have the red ribbon from Marla's cage, the skeleton key, the radio, our ticket, and our money. And there's a cheese morsel on the mousetrap. So we are now in position to take a look at the newsprint.